what MIT University is doing. And let's try to revive whatever we have discussed in the past. But then we like to understand from you also that what are your priorities, and what you want us to do with you, and what is your vision towards India. But I have a presentation, so I'll just give you a small presentation so that you have an idea that what MIT is all about. So once again, a very warm welcome to you. Uh, we have some very good association with American University, not only in Washington, but in the other parts of the world also, where you are having your campuses. We don't know them. But Dr. Wang, very warm welcome. We know the good work you are doing in US and in other parts of the world. And Ms. Tanisha, Director of the International Partnerships and Strategic Initiatives. MIT is a brainchild of our founder, Dr. Chauhan, who, after spending long years in Europe, came to Asia to create number of universities and institutions which should be able to provide quality education. So his aim was that we should be amongst the top education groups of the world, which not only concentrates in giving the education, but is able to transform the career of the children. And that is the reason that you will find that in all the rankings, in THE rankings, in QS rankings, and in all the accreditations, we are in India a university which has been able to produce most employable graduates. Okay. So, public and private, yeah. I'll show you that slide. Today, we have more than 200,000 students, 6,000 full-time faculty and scientists. We have got 11 universities in India. The universities where you are sitting, it's the flagship university, which is in Noida. We have got a university in Gurugram, which is close to the airport. We have got a campus in Greater Noida, Lucknow, Jaipur, Mumbai, Gwalior, Kolkata, Raipur, Ranchi, Patna, Mohali, and Bengaluru. We have got more than 150 institutions, the largest network of institutions in India. Having said that, we also are the only education group of India which has got 16 foreign campuses and the university status in the various countries of the world. We have got a university status in UK, where we have got a campus at Bedford Square. So if you happen to be in London, please visit us. We have got a campus in Singapore, which has got more than 10,000 students. We actually acquired the building which was earlier the building of Chicago Business School, and from 1st November, yeah. So and from 1st November we are shifting to another building which is at the Orchard Road. So it's a standalone multi-story building. We acquired St. John's University campus in New York. This is in Long Island. It's Long Island. We have a campus there. We have a campus there. Yeah. So, which is basically where we are trying to create the research hub of MIT Group. But it's a 172 acres campus, which we have. We have got a university in Dubai, right, which is again having about 8,000 students. Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Mauritius, South Africa, Kenya, Amsterdam, San Francisco, and then in Tashkent in Uzbekistan. After having opened the campuses in India and abroad, we are now trying that we should be able to support the governments of the various countries. So on the invitation of the government of Uzbekistan, we went there and we opened the first ICT university there. Okay. We have got 20 schools and preschools. I don't know that how much you know about the Indian education system, but CBSE is the largest education board of India, right? Where the thousands of students appear every year. Right? So we are a university and an education group from where we have seen that large number of our students, to be precisely 95% of our students, they have scored more than 96% marks. So you can very well imagine that the quality of the students we have, and they also act as a fillers to our universities and to our foreign partners. We have got 2,000 acres of campuses, 20 million square feet of buildings, and these are all greenfield projects. Right, 400 programs, largest number of programs and disciplines any university or a group is offering in Asia.
Very impressive. I was trying to search, but not.
Yeah. Thank you. But we are a research intensive university, and we can see some of the leading scientists. Dr. Seema Bhattacharya, who's sitting, is one of the leading scientists. She is working on biotech in the area of biotechnology. Uh, I think that what we can see is that large number of research projects, large number of scientists from all walks of life, from biotechnology, from AI, from data science, from the various walks of life, they are at MIT. Our intention is that research is the backbone of any university. So our researchers, they have been working day and night with the leading universities of the world, including with your university, where we found that I think about six of your faculty members, they have been on international research conferences, they have contributed. I think that that is a kind of association we look for with any university with whom we work. Besides creating a revenue model, which is good for the universities. More than 4,000 cases have been developed by our business schools, which is again the largest number of case studies any business school in Asia has ever developed. And we are now, we are the largest partner of the Case Trust UK. Mm-hmm. And with them, we are creating now the video cases. Right, we take a problem, we create a video, and then it goes to the all parts of the world, including in your university. I was checking out a lot of business school professors; they are downloading our cases. 400 research projects are funded by the government, which are ongoing at MIT. 11 across the world, and 215 patents this year have been granted to us. This is a segment-wise bifurcation that what we do. We have got some of the very premium schools, which are known as MEON schools, which are pre-nursery schools. Then K-12 schools, undergrad programs, postgraduate programs, PhD programs, postdoctoral programs. We are the strongest in India in online and distance learning programs. Corporate training, we are the largest partner of Government of India in continuing education. So you can see that we have covered almost all the segments which any education, absolutely. And these are the accreditations which we have been able to get. All the leading accreditations in India we have been able to get. But along with it, we have also been accredited by the US Accreditation Council, WASC, and South Asia's only university to be awarded the WASC accreditation, which means that our credits are mapped and can very easily be mapped by with the US education system. Similarly, since we are working with the various UK universities, we have also got the QA accreditation, and this is the only university which has got it in India. In terms of our rank, we are amongst the top 3% universities of the world, right? And this is the latest ranking. But what makes us more proud is that there is no one even closer to MIT when it comes to internationalization. So, which means the highest number of collaborations, highest number of research quotient, exchange of students, exchange of credits, students going abroad, faculty coming from abroad here. You can see that MIT, as per the QS ranking, we got a score of 21.8. And the next best in the near to the NCR region was Jamia Millia Islamia, which is a central university, it's a government university, it's 4.4. So they are not even closer to what we have been able to achieve. And though we are a private university, we have been able to compete amongst the best known government universities. So we are among the top three, even in international research. This is the THE to 2024 ranking, which shows that with the five government institutions, MIT University stands by producing the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, which is a government institution, it's a very reputed one. ISC Bangalore, which is again a government institution. IIT Mumbai, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur. All of them, they're the government institutions. The only private group which has been able to rather do better placements and give career is MIT. And this is what we have been able to get from the minister of industry minister and commerce minister. We were able to commercialize the largest number of patents from any university. So it's not only that we are producing technology, we are also trying to commercialize it. So we are extended arm of the government and helping. And all our partners are involved in the projects, especially the international projects where one of the partner is from abroad and one of the partner can be from Asia or from India and from other parts of the world. We are doing many such projects. Our MBA program, which is an online program, is amongst the 0.5% programs of the world. We have been ranked as 37 the whole world. This slide will give you fair idea that what we do. Our business school, international business school, is the best in Asia. Our engineering school is the best private engineering institution of the country. Our law school among the top three. Our school of communication among the top three, and these are all very high rated rankings. Our biotechnology, the best biotechnology private institution of the country. And what we have been able to do in US so far, along with creating a research hub in the New York, we have been able to bring the Hero, which are just one of the most premium brands of the UK to USA. So it's not only a marriage in India, it's also bringing some of the top brands of the world and working together with them. So we have got, this is our campus in New York, which is now being also hosting the Hero School in the campus. And then we are working on the sustainable management in San Francisco. This is our photograph of the Hero School, which we have been able to bring in India. So this is the first one which is opening in India, which is already operational. It's in Bangalore. So far, what we have done in the USA, highest number of Indian students have gone from MIT to USA in the last many years. So not only that we are doing research, but largest number of students after class 12 from schools. If you look at large number of applications, they go to various universities. I was last week. I was talking to the class 12 students in our schools. Amazing. I think that more than 40% of the students, they showed interest that they want to explore that how American universities look like. Then MIT has got the highest number of research linkages in India with the US universities. As you know, that US is the largest trade partner of India. Right? US is largest exporter to India and largest importer from India. Right, so you can very well see that how we are located, and we have been working very closely with US at MIT. One of our chancellor is a product of Wharton. Another trustee is a product of Harvard. Right, the other two are the product of Babson. Right, so you can see that the management is also quite keen. I almost every 2 months I'm in US, right, working very closely. And if you ask anyone, I think that one or the other person from their family is either in US creating companies, doing education, or have some linkages. We specially requested Admiral Bhatnagar, who was in Washington representing Indian government as a and was working very closely with the Indian embassy to look at that. Once he was retiring, we said, why don't you join and help us in establishing and creating like-minded linkages? And by the way, he was located at Washington. So when we discussed, and before any university comes, there's a strategic meeting which takes place. Last evening, both of us were sitting, and he was saying that one thing I'm very passionate about is that American university should have very close linkages, right? So I think that this is something which we look at. But I just wanted to give you overview that not only that we are doing education, but we do a lot of projects, and US is very close to the heart of Indians. Culturally, research, teaching pedagogy, how we do national new education policy. If you look at the contents of the new education policy, a lot of inspiration is from the American education system, including multidisciplinary research, dual degrees, joint degree programs, credit system. So I think that Indian system is tilting more towards American education system, and that's the reason that we are trying to find partners who are able to understand us, and we are able to understand them. Your former ambassador of US, Excellency Kenneth Chester, is a very good friend of MIT. The only university where he chose to spook was MIT. Uh, Presidents of various US universities have spoken during our international conferences, including your Vice Chancellor, American University, Bangladesh, like coming and speaking, right, in our conference. Then participant, and she is also on our advisory board. Then participation of eminent Indian Americans during NRI symposium, including your faculty, they participated. Participation of the various presidents of US universities during our webinar series. Now, new education policy and what we can offer, both as an American university and as a MIT university. I think large number of students, they want to go for training programs, joint degree programs, or the exposure of US. Like being the largest trade partner of India, I think that we need to understand America, and America needs to understand India more. So and if we look at the cost of the programs, or sometimes the visa restrictions, we feel that this is one of the challenges. So the objective of Dr. Chauhan, who is our founder, has been that we should be able to make the education extremely economical, so that we should be able to attract best talent. So it's not only the prerogative of rich to be going and taking the international education, but it should be the best who should be we should be able to set. So we created a number of programs. For example, we created a program where a student can start a program in India, and then they can do the second part of the program in US. And we will like to do broad agreement with American universities, where not only one course or two courses or 8, 10, 20 students. We want that if we can do a global agreement where large number of students, best of the students in each of the areas, they can go. What I saw when I was at your university, the way students were, and I had very good photographs and memories. I think that one thing American University has been able to do is that one is diversity. I could see in your university, and the second was the happiness quotient of the students. So the more I spoke to the students, and happy they were looking at, right? So along with the rosy leaves which I saw on the trees, the students sitting under the trees, talking good about the university. I remember I asked one of the students who was from China, maybe. So I said that how you feel here, and she said top of the world, right? And then smiled. So which shows and which says all that that international student sitting there and talking about that, here I'm very happy, because normally you will find that international students, if you ask them, they have their own story to tell, but in one sentence and then she smiled, which says that American was. So I think that what we want is that if we can offer joint degree programs, twinning programs, and dual degree programs, which were earlier not allowed in India, but now they're allowed. Then integrating technology in building long-term profitable and sustainable partnerships through e-learning and co-branded programs. We can also look at that if the first part of the program. So I was discussing with our academic team that if 50% of the credits we can do in our campuses, right? And I know that the biggest challenge for any university is that how they will be delivered. But we will give you a round of the campus, and you will find that we have developed a technology through which, through e-learning portals, your faculty and our faculty can interact and can teach. So if 50% of the credits, we can do that in India and then can transfer the students. Right. So I think that would be good. And I know that as per the American system, you can give up to 50% credits to the students.
Yeah, depends on the graduate or
Yeah.
undergraduate.
Yeah, so I think that those are the fine negotiations or discussions which we'd like to do with your team. That if we are able to do that, it will bring down the cost of the program, it will increase the quality of the program, and we will have a sustainable partnership. Then offering meaningful internships exposure to the US students through India immersion program, and similar exposure to our students in US. What we are trying to do in India is that creating meaningful uh, practical experience to the students. So just giving them a degree is not our objective. We want that they should become entrepreneurs. They should be able to understand that what are the skills which are essential not only to be competitive in Asia or in America, but in other parts of the world. And that's the reason that you will find that along with the education we give, we concentrate quite a lot on many other things. One of which is that all students get an option to go for a semester abroad. So 200,000 students, we give them the option that they can, and they are going to our various partners, right? Or integrating or doing or earning the credits of theirs. Like for example, it's not a degree, it's not your degree, but earning your credits and bringing them back, right? And then thirdly, immersion programs. So we have got a program where we say like Explore America program. Go and just explore and write a thesis and a dissertation. That's how America looks like. So I think this is another area which we'd like to work on. For example, you know that there are institutions and universities in the world, and I know that America is now trying to integrate that. But in Australia, with all the group 8 universities, we have developed a capsule. They do one semester, November, December, January, February. They have to do in the various parts of the, and we sponsor them. Similarly, in US, we have been able to engage with large number of universities who want to come send their students to understand that how industry globally was working. So this is one area which we will like to work on, right? And I know that most of the companies in US they offer internship opportunities to the students while they are in the first year of the post graduation programs. Like for example, Goldman Sachs, I think that when the student is doing their MBA program, towards the end of the MBA program, they offer them the letters that if you want, and they pick up. The process is very stiff. So we want that if we can offer your students similar kind of exposure in India, and we have got linkages with more than 1,000 companies which are on our board, and then also send our students to American University to be working with professors or to be working with the industry to understand that what are the opportunities which are available. So this is something on which we are working and we would like to explore. Then building research, training, and consulting partnerships with short duration joint programs and certification. This is a core competency of MIT. We work with almost all public sectors, right? And we are the largest partner of Government of India for the training, for research, for doing various projects. So, and in most of the projects, we have to write the proposals together. I remember that in one of the proposals which we wrote for the Indian forest officers, we took one faculty from your side, right? Though it was not true. But I think that those are the kind of extensive programs which we like to do and work with your faculty. Then also building the consortium of US and Indian universities where we can see that how we can work together. These are few photographs. This is His Excellency Kenneth Chester, who is the Ambassador of America in India, coming and speaking at a conference. That's a photograph of our founder, along with both the chancellors, Dr. Atul Johan, who himself has got a wide experience of working in America. And also he's a product of London School of Economics. So both UK and US, he has got experience. Other chancellor who's a product of Wharton, and Dr. Chauhan, who has got a long experience of working with American companies and also in Europe. And that is our international research conference in Bush. By the way, it has nothing to do with President Bush. Yeah, but we have still been able to name it in Bush. It's known as International Business Horizon Engineering Research Areas. This is our students at Berkeley. We have got a program with them where the students can earn credits, and similar program we want to do with you. Uh, they can go and they can earn credits. It's not a degree, but credits. But they can bring those back. I remember that when I visited your university, this was the initial discussions we had with the president that we can have it, and we developed on the same lines a program called Three Continent Program. This is a program where the first part of the program is in India, second part of the program is in London, third part of the program is in US. And I remember having long discussions with your president, and we all agreed in principle that we should be able to do it. But I think it's a time that we should now be able to do. We have done this program with NYU earlier, And then we have also been done with the UC.
This is a semester now, short term.
It's a short-term program.
Short-term.
It's a 3 months long program.
That's easier.
That's easier because it's our degree.
Yeah.
And they are not earning credits. But I think we should start something. So I think that I have kept a slide that we have kept divided ourselves into 3 parts. One are the low-hanging fruits, then the mid-term strategy, and then the long-term strategy.
Yeah.
But I think something should start. With Depson also, we have been able to create a similar program where the students go and do 15 days long entrepreneurship program. Again, it's their credits. So we can look at that if we can do similar kind of programs with your university. This will give you an idea of what MIT University is all about and the size of this university. The university where you are sitting, it's 85 acres campus, 4.1 million square feet of building. Then it's a greenfield project. There was nothing here 20 years back.
This is a different campus.
This campus. Yeah, this
Now
campus.
there's skyscrapers everywhere.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. This is our other campus, 15 kilometers from here. It's in Greater Noida, where we have been able to create a polytechnic, which is concentrating on giving skills-based education. This is a Lucknow campus. We call it White House of India.
Yes.
Yeah. So you will find that the entire building is quite similar to some of the American buildings. I don't know that whether you have seen LA. We call it LA of India. It's a Jaipur campus, so you can see it's on the hills, right? And it's a very beautiful 150 acres campus. Quite an inspiration from LA. This is our Gurgaon campus, which is concentrating more on entrepreneurship. It's 110 acres campus. It's quite close to the airport. This is our Mumbai campus. It's a 30 acres campus. This is our Gwalior campus, again in the historical city of the country, 100 acres campus. Sorry. This is our Kolkata campus, which has been designed by the American architect. This is our Raipur campus, Jharkhand campus, Patna campus, and this is a new university which has come in Punjab, Mohali campus, the 40 acres campus. And this is our world-class Bengaluru campus, where we have brought the Hero schools there. And these are our other campuses in Bhubaneswar, Chennai, Kochi, Pune, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad. And these are the photographs of our international campuses. This is MIT Singapore, which was earlier the Chicago Business School building. MIT Mauritius, MIT New York, it was earlier St. John's University. MIT Nairobi, MIT Tashkent, MIT London, MIT Dubai. We have got our schools in Amsterdam, in Middle East, in Sharjah, in Singapore, in South Africa. This is something on which we feel immense proud, our incubator.
Mhm.
So we have been working with some of the best brains of the world. And we have been able to create more than 300 companies from our incubator. And this has also been selected as the best incubator any university has been able to create. So this is what we try to do. If you get some time, please go and look at it. It's a standalone, huge setup which we have been able to create. This is a project which was the largest project in the e-learning space and distance learning space. I don't know whether you know Dr. Kalam. Have you heard this name? Dr. Kalam was a nuclear scientist of India. Right, so you know that India is today amongst the top 3 players in the space technology and in the defense technology. But Dr. Kalam was a very visionary scientist who gave a shape to this policy. And then, in recognition of his very strong academic values, he rose to the position of the President of India. And when he became the President of India, the first thing which he did was not to have a business meeting, but to have a meeting with the academics. Right, so a very unusual president, and he said that let's go to Africa, right? And he took 19 vice chancellors with him, right? The delegation. We got a chance, so I traveled with him, and he spoke at African Union in Addis Ababa, and he said that I want to give to Africa something which Africa is going to remember for centuries. So people thought that he's going to give nuclear reactor, or he's going to give thousands and billions of dollars, and his next sentence was, but not a dollar to give. So people were thinking that what he's going to give. And he said that I will give you education. So people are thinking, what kind of person education he has come from India to teach us. So he, at that point of time, he gave the concept of virtual education. That word can come one, American universities, European universities, Indian universities, and come together. Let's educate Africa and make them more competent so that they can earn decent living. By the end of the day, European Union chairman was there, and he said that it's not possible. President, your ideas are very revolutionary. You are a visionary, but they don't have an internet. They don't have computers. How will you do it? And that too in the French language, right? So that which is a very different language, right? Yeah, it is. But he says that how will you be able to do it? You don't have expertise. So he was a very unusual president. He laughed and he said, "Okay, right, let's see." And he came back to India, and we thought that project has died. Next day when he came, we landed here in the morning. 10:30 he called a meeting of all the VCs again, right, in the president house, and he said that how many of you agree with me that this can be done in Africa? Out of 19, 18 said it's not possible. At that time our founder Dr. Chauhan said, "Sir, if you are thinking that this is something India can do, we will become your partner." And he said that, "Okay, I give you 6 months. You produce first capsule in French language, right?" And we produced the first capsule in the French language. Today, we have got thousands of students who learn French here, but we created a French department which created content, e-learning content in the French language. And this became the case study. And we were called years later at Stanford to give a presentation that how you implemented this project. Today, 80,000 students have a part of this project. And after Prime Minister Modi took up the leadership, the only project which is running from the previous many government is the E-Shiksha Bharati. The name has been changed now. But the same project we are implementing now in India. Similarly, we are working on the skills and vocational training because we feel that vocational training and skills are essential along with the basic education. So this is another area which we like to explore with you. And you will find all kind of courses, 400 degrees, 60 disciplines, and new technology programs. You are talking about French. So we offer to our all students French language along with German, Spanish, Arabic, Japanese, Chinese, and Russian. One foreign language is compulsory for all students. They have to do
Your
it.
student have to have a second.
Must have.
Is English considered a foreign language?
No, because this is because right from the school they are studying in English language, but then we want that they should be also believing in having the diversity. So English is great, but they should also have a knowledge of some other language. So normally students they are very good in Hindi because they are taught Hindi and English at the school level, where we have limited control, right? But when they come to MIT, we say that you have to pick up one more language so that wherever you go internationally, you travel, you find that you are aligned with their culture. And this is what we have been able to do, which gives us the best ranking in internationalization. Under the new Colombo plan, highest number from Australia have visited us. Under the US aid system, large number of US universities and their scholars, they are with us. Under the Erasmus Plus project, large number of European students. We are the largest partner of UK universities. And thousands of students have been to us. This is our India Immersion Program. This is again a very strong program where we want the world to know India. So we do give scholarships to the students internationally that they should come and see, experience what India is all about. They come here, we take them to the industry, we give them the projects, we take them to Agra, we take them to Jaipur, we show them the old India, we take them to Red Fort, but we also take them to the new technological advanced labs, right? So that they can see that what is there. And that is how the students, this is a photograph of the UK and French students who were there very recently with us, and we did a program. This is your new ambassador, His Excellency Eric Grassity. I met him, and then we agreed that we will be working together on a number of initiatives. And we do ambassador lecture series where all the ambassadors they come and they speak to the students. This is what we have done with the US universities. We keep on having interaction with them, and these are all top rated presidents of the various universities. You can see Professor Jagdish Seth from Indian origin, who's a chair professor of MROI, Renu Khator, who's the chancellor of Houston, uh, Dr. Shyam Sundar, who's a professor of Yale, Gurdeep Chawla, who's an entrepreneur, and also the president of UK Chamber of Commerce, who was there. So we do deliberations that how America and India should look like. Similarly, we do regular lecture series, which we want to do with you. This is a professor of MIT, professor of Yale, professor of Stanford, coming online and talking to the students. And this is what monthly lecture series looks like. And this is known as American International Lecture Series. This is what we do with the public sector and government agencies. We are the largest partner of Government of India in imparting training to the various public sectors, where we would like to have a partner from US also. We feel that there is nothing which is not for the people. At the end of the day, you will meet maybe very clever people. You will meet people who are earning money, but at the end, if we are not able to do something for the community, I think that education has no meaning. Dr. Chauhan wants that whatever we do, we should be able to give back to the society. So community building is something on which we really work. Noida is a great city. The largest airport of the Asia is coming up here, right? But if you ask anyone that who has contributed most in the growth of Noida, you will find that MIT's name is there. There was nothing here. So you saw fields. We created the first university. We created the first city, right? We created another campus in Greater Noida. We adopted 200 villages, and then we are giving free education to the underprivileged kids. 3,000 boys and girls, right from infant to their higher education till their PhD funded, free of cost, right? So that they should become responsible citizens and they can occupy good positions. Many of them, they have gone abroad, they are at very good positions, some become judge, some are entrepreneurs, and it's always a privilege to meet them. And this is the future of our education group. 35 universities in every state. Today we have got 12 universities and 100 campuses across the countries, 50 universities and campuses across the globe. But feel so proud that we are here with you. These are the areas which we have identified: management, computer science, data science and analytics, psychology, law, and biotechnology. We like to see that how quickly we can look at articulation programs. You can go back, introduce us with the respective teams. We have requested the teams from our various departments if they can also come. I think that public policy and international affairs is one area which we like to work on. Exploring the possibility of short-term mobility programs, faculty exchange to immediately if we can start up, if not personally, physically, then maybe virtually to start with. Monthly lecture series, if both the universities can start. So this is a very short, quickly, so that we can look at India immersion program, or sending of your students, offering few scholarships. Admiral Patnagar is very passionate about it. The joint supervision of the PhD. I think research is something which we like to, and here it's a compulsory in this university that a student has to take two guides. So one, a local guide, and the second one is from the foreign country. We can look at, and your faculty has been participating in a research conference. I was checking out. I think invitation has already gone to your vice chancellor to participate, but we would love to see your vice chancellor, president, and teams here in this conference. And I think by that time we will be also able to freeze out that what we need to do, and then we can make an announcement in this
We'd
conference.
love to have the presentation.
Yeah, surely I'll send you.
There are not enough papers, right? All the notes that I want to write.
Yeah. No, you'll get this presentation. Right? By the time you will sit in your car, you'll get a presentation. These are the programs which you have proposed: MS in Sustainability Management, MS in Analytics, MS in Computer Science, Biotechnology, Data Science, and Environmental Sciences. But I had a discussion here with all the institutions. We'd spent quite a time on your areas of interest. I think that our people will like to also look at undergrad programs. I think the common perception in America is that people only come for master's program, right? Whereas it is changing. At our times, when we were young, I'm not old today, right? But when we were young, we used to go for PhD to US. Then suddenly it came to masters. Youngsters now they want to do undergrad programs or short duration programs. So I would request you if you can consider that we can look at in these areas undergrad programs where you will get a large number of applications from India and where the interest is. Uh, we know that you are very strong in public administration, public policy. We have got our people also here that who are very strong in it, but we would like to explore. But these are the some areas. But undergrad programs are also something. And I know that you are an international group, and you have interests in opening campuses and having presence in the other parts of the world. But we also know that opening campuses is a very costly affair, very costly affair. So we are trying that we should be able to bring under the new education policy some of the good universities to India. So, and which is a dream of our prime minister. And elections are happening next year. So this 1 year, government will be giving the largest incentives to any American university which wants to have a setup in India. So we can look at that without much of investments. If we can offer a dedicated space where your programs can be offered, at least first part of the program, and then the second part of the program can be in US or in the other parts of the world. So these were few things. The first slide was on the short term benefits, then the medium term, and then the third term. But maybe that by the end, once we conclude discussions, we'll like to create a small strategic group. You can go back, you can tell us, we'll send you the points against each point, which are the people. But if there's a 5 people committee, if you can create, and then we will create a 5 person committee, right, which can interact on fortnightly or monthly basis, can review what needs to be done with some timelines and with responsibility areas that will help all of us. Thank you.
Very.
If you don't mind, can I add your permission?
Yeah.
Regarding I was just going through for undergraduate, you've got global economy, so we also have international political economy over here. And you've got peace, global security and conflict resolution, global and comparative governance is part of your UG. All these are UG. And you have African diaspora studies and Asia Pacific diaspora studies, which we also offer in our institute. So our UG students will be more beneficial if we can have more on this. For PG, I would like you to, if you can, add related to diaspora studies for PG also. That'd be really wonderful. But you don't have it in your. I was just going for your. So I just want to.
No problem. So you just send us all the details and we will
Yeah,
take
that's
it
okay.
forward. But we would request you now, if you can give your thoughts, what is your vision to India, what you want to do with MIT, we would love to hear more from you.
First of all, thank you
so much for welcome me and my colleague to. I think I can speak here, right? Okay.
The others who are listening.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
various directors, DGs, they are listening.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a tremendous pleasure for us to come here and visit your really beautiful campus, and the information you presented to us is really impressive, and to the extent is very overwhelming for us to consume just at the first meeting. And you have such a vision. I didn't realize that how big and how comprehensive your institution is, and the vision that you laid out for your university in terms of building the next generation of leaders, nation building, community building, international outreach. That's really very impressive, and I see a lot of potential collaborations because that AU also carries a lot similar mission like your university. Our university, my colleague Tashina can give you a short presentation, but basically was commissioned by the U.S. Congress and with a clear public mission. So now our primary goal, initial mandate from the Congress, is to train public servants. And so they're private universities, they're public university. Public university are state affiliate. They don't necessarily have relationships federal. So at some point that late 19th centuries, the U.S. federal government felt there's a need to create some sort of education institution that catering to train the public servant for federal government. So that's the primary reason behind the creation of our university. So that is in our DNA. So to be a public engagement, serve the public. So we trained over the years so many employees that for federal government, and we literally also add a lot of organization, the training for the foreign services. So our School of International Services is one of our best school that designate to train foreign diplomats for the State Department, USAID, and etc. Until today, because the public mission of university, we are both the faculty, the student are heavily engaged in public learning and public advocacy. So one of the distinct feature of AU is that if you meet our students, it's not only that diverse, but also they are super mindful of the current activities, current trends and issues, not only facing the United States, but also the world. They are very vocal. So I see a lot of areas for collaboration because we share the same spirit to serve the public. Before we talk about the specific projects, maybe my colleague can give you a short presentation about who we are.
It always makes me do the show. And so this is just a quick virtual introduction. I'd like to say, if this works. There we go. Oh, there we go. So as someone was saying, we are change makers from the beginning of our history. And you'll see this throughout the presentation where we talk about being sustainable, equitable, inclusive. Members of society, our vision is to train the leaders of tomorrow to make a positive impact, a meaningful impact in this world. And so it does lead to having a lot of very engaged and active students and vocal students on some topics, but it keeps us on our toes. And you'll see that through the different partnerships that we do, we're very mindful about who we partner with as well. And so this is why we decided to come to India. I joined AU in March when Professor made my position. And I came in saying, we don't have any current partnerships in India. This is not possible, given the space that India occupies today and will occupy tomorrow in this world for our students and for the world. So we decided to take a holistic approach and come and visit and better understand everything. Of course, I've read the NEP, the actual documents a couple of times because it took me a while to translate them in my mind. And
How much you find it was similar to your education policy?
it was actually quite understandable, but I did a lot of also reading the analysis done by other governments on the impact of the NEP. And it's true that it's opened up a large number of opportunities that we did not have before.
Absolutely.
And so this is maybe the right time, right?
Absolutely right.
And so in our history, we are a old American university for America, if you like to say that, not in terms of the world's universities. And we were chartered by Congress in 1893, and the first stone was laid by President Roosevelt on our campus. And so the connection of our university and the US government is very, very close from the beginning. If you come to our campus, which we hope you will, you'll see pictures with Kennedy giving very famous speeches on peace in the School of International Service. So we say we've been waging a war for peace since 1957. But you also have Obama, who has come, many different presidents come at different points in our history. And you'll see the change-making aspect of our history with the creation of our College of Law. Was created by a woman because women were not allowed into law school at that time. So she created it for women to train women in law. And so at a time when women were not allowed in universities, we created a law school. At a time where African Americans were not allowed in universities, we had hundreds studying with us. So we've always been change makers. And so as you can see, the different evolution of our programs. I put in here the creation of our office in 2021 because at one time everything was centralized and decentralized, and they said no, we needed to be centralized again because we need to go back and have re-centralization of international activities.
I think 2019 you also organized a very big international conference, Women in Leadership.
It is very, very possible.
Yes,
Because
yeah,
I think there's
yeah,
a, yes, I mean,
yeah.
every,
In which my daughter participated. Yeah, so I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, decent. Yeah.
well, even just last week, in DC, the government was recognizing women leaders.
Yes.
And of the women that were recognized, was there 5 of them are from AU, including our president.
Yes, yeah.
And so our president is a woman, our provost is a woman, most of our deans are women. And Jeff is one of the minority, culturally and
Yeah.
nationally inside the Dean's Council.
The Dean's Council, 2/3 are women.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
and I'm the minority.
Yes,
And our president used to be the secretary for the HHS,
White
Health
House
and Human Services.
Mm.
So very prominent.
for Obama, yeah.
Congratulations. I think this is something amazing.
Yeah.
And the way you have been organizing it has an impact not only in America, but calling women leaders and very young leaders that who have done something good and then honoring them in your university. I think it is something which is really praiseworthy. Yeah. Congratulations.
We're very proud of our women, and I'm proud to be one of the women now. We have
Yes.
women network lunches and everything. So we have about 187 degrees this year as of this year's culling, separated into different schools, which we can always come back to. But I like to point out we are the first carbon neutral campus in the United States. Sustainability is very important to us, which is why also we don't travel when travel is not needed. We do love to work in the virtual space, and I put a couple of our rankings up there. We don't put many up because we do not participate anymore in QS. And this is why our rankings have bombed since we stopped participating in QS. And we believe, and we're working to get this university to go back and start participating again, because for the international populations, that's what we look at. And we're saying you cannot just not play the game. But like a number of American universities who are saying we should not be doing these rankings, that was a decision in 2020, which we are working to reverse. But there are a couple of rankings that, despite the fact that we don't participate in them, I mean, for example, Shanghai, we do not participate in. We're 15th in the world for public affairs.
Great.
We don't answer anything, and we're 15th. So there's a few of those that we say. I still say it's nice to talk about, but we're number 2 in the U.S. for study abroad. We're right behind NYU. They have more campuses externally than we do, and they're a bit bigger universities, so I don't think we'll be able to compete.
Even you cannot comparable to your university in terms of national ambition.
No.
They only have 2 or 3 campuses, but you have so many.
Yeah. But we respect. I think that the American universities were the first one. You know that traditionally, if you look at the history of education, UK universities were dominating. 100 years back. But then real internationalization, if you look at changing the educational structure, America started up. So especially sending students and then research, especially international research, attracting a large number of scholars. So India, under the new NEP, has actually taken a lot of inspiration from the American education system. So our congratulations for whatever you have done, and your university is really doing well.
And you're talking about diversity. So about a third of our students, we say in America, are of color. So variations of brown and black and every part of the rainbow. But we do have a very diverse group. I threw a couple also U.S. News rankings for our law school. We are number 1 in clinical law, number 5 in international law. So there is also an excellent law school. I didn't put it there originally, but I was walking through a hallway and already started seeing some very interesting information on the law school out here. There's also things that we can consider. And so, here we go. Just so you know, we are much smaller than you. And we will always be much smaller because we have no intention of becoming a very large university for a number of reasons. One being the city of DC limits our growth. Yes, so we have to house 67% of our undergraduate students on our campus. So that limits every year our numbers of our undergraduate students. In graduates, we can be a bit more flexible, which is why originally I proposed the graduate collaborations, especially when he was like, can we send maybe triple digits to you? I said, yes, at the graduate level, I think we can find room. We will have to look at the undergraduate program by program and see maybe some potential. But the area of growth that we can have is more at the graduate level than at the undergraduate level, because of just our neighborhood. When you come to DC, because it is a win and not the if, we will love to show you around our campus. And you'll see that we are in one of the nicest areas of DC, where all the ambassadors live. It is a beautiful space, a very safe and secure space for students. Our student body comes from 118 countries around the world. In that small number that we have, I feel like small compared to you. I'm just like we're a tenth of your size. And this is for the AUDC, okay? Numbers. We come from every single state of the US. Student to faculty ratio is 11-1. So small quality. And this is actually one of the issues, the reasons that a lot of smaller private universities have gone down in rankings this year in the United States is because they changed the rankings to privilege the public universities, and they took out the importance of the faculty to student ratio and class size. So what made us very strong, now they're saying, no, it's okay. We want the public universities to be happy. So, but it's created lots of scandals this year actually inside our.
It's a universal phenomenon.
Oh, it's a
Public versus private,
terrible scandals this year.
We know it as a private university.
And so for our study abroad, 65% of our undergraduate students go abroad. And for an American university, that's a lot. Okay. Those who do not go, for example, our veterans do not go abroad because their veteran benefits do not cover their abroad fees, but we have a really large number. Some of our programs don't go abroad as much as other ones, but maybe if we have more offerings that they will, for example, our chemistry students tend not to be very mobile, but maybe if we have a good chemistry partnership abroad, we will be able to incite them to go abroad. Our promise is that wherever you want to go, we'll send you. So at 100 programs running in 42 countries.
We have 3 centers of AUO, one in Brussels, one in Madrid, and one in Nairobi. So these are our own centers. Send about a third of our outside of Brussels.
Nairobi?
Yes, Nairobi.
Okay.
So you have a
Yes.
university there.
Yes, yeah.
So, February we will visit Nairobi.
Okay.
We'd love to maybe stop by.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be very happy to welcome you.
And so again, yes, those are the organization of our schools. The oldest being the College of Arts and Science, the original school. Then, of course, public affairs, business, communications, education, international service, and law. And so dividing that way up. Our campus is 84, or DC campus is 84 acres, which is us looking at about a similar size to your campus.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Difference being it is a accredited arboretum. So it's a bit more green. Of course, it's not the same climate, so we can keep the grass green without watering it very easily. But it is one of 2 arboretums in DC, and so it's a very beautiful natural space to be in. Again, we were now 5 years carbon neutrality. You'll see every roof is either solar or vegetal. We're considered the 4th most beautiful campus in the United States, and so it's something we're very proud of. We have 11 LEED certified buildings on this campus, and it's a delight to work and study there. And you say to the students, you say, how are you doing? They're like, oh, it's great. You know, it's a lovely time. And so in our research, we have I just put a little slide up there to talk about the centers that are transdisciplinary. Each school has their own research centers, but I always found interesting the centers that collaborate together across the schools. For example, the Center for Environment, Community, and Equity are going to have cross-disciplinary research between environmental science and the social sciences. The Game Lab is a collaboration between computer science and communications. And so working on how to make games for change. So using gamification for learning, for museums, for other topics. And so Women in Technology Policy Initiative. So these are the cross-disciplinary types of research. But again, there are going to be immigration labs. There are going to be research labs that are funded by NASA in the space programs. And so there are so many different ones. But I'll leave this with you that within the farther part of the presentation, there's even codes to each school's research areas. And then a number of innovation centers. We also have an incubator, and so there could also be very fun activities between the incubators. I think that's one way of putting entrepreneurs together. So you have a really interesting idea. Let's see maybe how we could talk about doing entrepreneurship through the different countries. I think that could be a very interesting project. And we also have like a fintech market. I think I'm going to enroll in one of the classes because as staff and faculty, you're allowed to take classes with the faculty. And I think I want to take one on learning how to better invest my money
For free.
because for free. And so, because they have an amazing fintech hub.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We have a club here, which is a fintech club, which is known as 930 Club. 930 Club. Right. Yeah. So 930, all the students they come together and they look at stock markets of the entire world.
Mm.
So what is going to happen in Nasdaq, right? What is going
At
to
night
be
or morning?
yeah? What is going to happen in Indian markets? What will happen in Hong Kong? And they do predictions, and then we give them dummy money, right? So $1 million to few, right? And then once they are able to give returns, then 10 million, and then up to 100 million. And then they start investing and giving the returns. It's a very, very happening thing. So I think that that's another area that our students and faculty can
We
collaborate.
have a very similar class within the fintech in the market room.
Yes.
They give them the dummy money and they invest, but we also give, is it 1% of our investment, a part of our investment dotation is actually delegated to the students to
Great.
invest.
Right.
So they actually get real money too.
Yes, yeah.
So it's you have to really believe in the quality and your capability of your
Yes.
students, huh? And they're not the first tier finance students. I'm pretty sure they give it to the students that have a little bit more clout. But the university actually gives part of our dotation yearly to the students to invest.
Yeah. The laws in India are very strict. So
Mm.
we're not able to do that kind of investment, but that's what my dream is.
Yeah.
If you have private money investing in the stock market, you will make a fortune.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And your stock market went through the roof.
Yes,
recently.
yeah. Right. Yes.
And so our office really, we lead AU's initiatives for globalization. Anything we like to call it the global and immersive studies. And we say global and immersive because we send out, we receive in both ways, and for our campuses and abroad. Again, we're saying our AU abroad being number 2 in the US today, fall underneath the teams, Professor Mong, that we coordinate all of those programs for our students. And today we are looking and seeing where we could potentially and what kind of program to open up for India. There is a number of professors and students who could be interested. It is that today Americans tend to want to go to Europe, to London, go to London School of Economics. You know, they're not, since COVID specifically, are taking less risk. And so it's going to be, I think, a process to rebuild a movement. And we're actually working with the Embassy of India to do so as well. They came for the first Secretary for Education and Culture came to our campus a couple of weeks ago, is offering to build the India section in the library. They're sending us some dancers and musicians for our culture festival. And they were really interested in seeing how we can promote interactions with India going forward. Okay, and so this is what our approach is, not just saying one-way collaborations. How can we better integrate the activities with India in the future? We also have something called the Washington Semester Program, and I'm going to take a little second here because of what you've mentioned. The Washington Semester Program is an excellent, at its time, it was very innovative. We created it in 1948. It is a program that was originally to bring Americans from other universities in the United States to Washington, D.C. to learn about life in D.C. and to do interning and seminars in D.C. We opened it to international partners. We signed in June our first Indian partner with OP Jindal because they came to Washington, they heard about this program and they asked to join this program. It's a program in which we've had about 50,000 alumni go through this program, including former speakers of the House, mayors of Chicago, for example.
And this is for
Lightfoot.
how long this
It's
program?
1 semester. Students do 3 days of interning a week, 2 days of immersive seminars.
1 semester means how much?
5 months.
5 months.
Yeah,
5 months.
5
yeah,
months.
5
And
months.
those are the real interns.
And they're real internships.
Okay.
Credits, any
No.
credit?
Yeah, well, it is so I can explain the mechanism. So for Americans, they do the credit version of this, where we deliver the credits to the students. They pay 3 times more than for international students. We've negotiated that for international students, they pay 1/3 what the Americans pay, but the university partner delivers the credits. We give the transcripts and we say this is what they've done. and they recognize the work. And so, but they are fully followed. So you have an internship class. We help them prepare their CVs, get their placements. We have about 4,000 internship placements, and we usually take about 200 students. So you can see we've never not had someone get the placement, but we help them define what they really want to do for their career. If you want to be in journalism, we'll get you an internship at the National Public Radio, the Voice of America. If you want to do government work, like the young lady in the bottom right hand, Kelsey, she interned on Capitol Hill and now works in the government. The boy on the left, he was at the Voice of America. On the top right, I don't know if you saw the Barbie movie. Yeah, she did this program, for example, because was very politically active, and you can see it when she's acting. She's all about the patriarchy, right? Well, she was actually very.
And is it for every semester you do it, or
we do it in winter and spring? Yes.
Winter and
Mhm.
spring.
We cannot do it in the summer for international students because it is too short for the visa. And we have a special visa, and they have to come through partnerships for international students, or else they cannot do it. Yeah.
Right. In India, especially at MIT, we have kept internship for all students.
Mm.
So, but they go in the month of May and June,
Mhm.
right? So, we can stretch it to 10th of July. So, May 1st to 10th of July. Is it possible to do that? No.
Now, this course,
Summer is not possible
Mm-mm.
because for the
Okay.
immigration
Right.
purpose.
they won't
Whereas
take
to
it.
do the regular.
Right.
semester.
And then we have got our program called Internship or Apprenticeship Program, where the students go from 1st January for 5 months.
That would work.
That's possible.
That would work. Yeah.
Okay.
And so when they take these seminars, what they do is, say you have a seminar on political communication. In the morning, you're going to go to the National Rifle Association and learn about why guns are amazing. And in the afternoon, you're going to go to the NGO that's working for gun control. And the professor will explain to you the concepts of the political communication and how different forces are using this communication. When you're learning about the World Bank, we take you to the World Bank. Your class is inside the World Bank. You meet the president of the World Bank. This next week, they're going to the White House. They have amazing experiences every week, one immersive experience. And they also have all the full benefits of being an AU student. They have a U-Pass, free metro everywhere. It's a beautiful program. And it is, again, when we created it, it was the only one of its kind. And you can see these are our students with Biden actually on the street. They caught him, did a selfie before he was president, because once he was president, you couldn't catch him on the street anymore. They would let you get that close. But the proximity that the students have to these issues, it is still an amazing program. And we've really made sure that we make it affordable and feasible to international students, because American students pay America like full tuition at AU. So that's just cost prohibitive. Not for this program. Mm-mm.
So what's the normally cost of this program?
So it's about, no, this is because it's a one semester, so it's about 27,000 for American students. Yeah, 8,500 for our internationals. So this is one, when you're talking about the internships, and this is one way that's really interesting, because we can do this kind of program with the visa. It does work. Also, just so you know, if we do some 2+2s or others, there are possibilities of integrating internships into the 2+2.
And students come on J1 visa?
So this is a J visa for this program.
EU is very proud of two things in terms of student experience. One is that the global experience we offer to students. As I said, this 65% of students study abroad. The second is that we are extremely proud in terms of offering the internship experience. So 91% of our undergraduate students have had at least one chance of internship.
Very good program.
On campus, in DC, or globally. So you mentioned that your university is also focused on the internship.
Yes,
There's
yeah.
a lot of
That's what I'm
collaboration
planning,
we
yeah.
have together.
It's a lot of tech,
Yeah,
biotech.
And can tailor
Yeah.
international.
Yeah, this is the one program where if it's a short term, one semester thing. If you want to come in on a, say, a 2+2, it's an F visa, but they can intern if it's integrated into the program. So we can make it possible. But again, DC is the number 4 tech hub in the United States. So there's a large number of internships, even for those who want to come for things other than public policy. We also have the English Language Training Academy inside our division in the pathway programs, which I don't think your students really need.
Thomas Jefferson?
Yes. Yeah, and so I'm going to stop here because this is just other details on the different colleges. I will I will leave you with a USB key and all the presentation. but it was just to give you kind of an overview of the different areas that we can collaborate in. And I was reaching out to you at the same time as you were reaching out to me. So in the end, I thought, there must be some kind of synergy here.
Yes, yeah.
Because
They say the positive vibrations, they happen. You're coming to us, and then
Yeah.
we actually wanted, and if you have a time, we can meet over the dinner also tonight. And but we wanted truly that if you can come to the campus,
Mm.
that's the reason I especially requested
Mm.
that you should come see the campus, because this will give you a feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
what kind of academic system we have. But we'll be very happy to host you for a dinner tonight.
Well, we're flying to Chandragarh
Okay.
tonight, but that was why we're like, we can make it, but only between this time and this time,
Yes,
because we have
yeah,
the flight
yeah.
afterwards.
We
Um,
arrived a bit early and
Yes.
Yeah.
Chennai actually
We
walked
did.
around us.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
We were all by ourselves.
We have got a university in Chandigarh.
Ah.
Yeah, so this is
On the
positive.
left-hand side. of
Yeah, we
the-
were mentioning
Yes.
in the lounge
Okay.
as we come out of the airport.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
have this presentation?
He will have it as a relief. Yes, you will have it.
In fact, when what Dr. Singh was saying, that I was very keen that we should partner with, cooperate and collaborate with American University, because it is an iconic university
Yeah.
in DC area,
Mm.
and I used to cross that university every day on Mass Avenue, right next to the Met Observatory Circle.
Mhm.
So
And
it's,
yeah,
yeah.
it's written loud and clear. You are, of course, one of the best, and therefore, when you're the best, it's difficult to be economical. So you are a well-priced university, and there are a number of programs that you run that will be of great interest to our students. But you've also seen, as in the presentation of Dr. Singh, that we also offer a large number of programs, and where India is today, I think it'll make sense that if your students choose to come to India, I mean, it'll require some sort of a little bit of motivation from your side, because they don't. It doesn't come naturally to students in America to come to India. I get it very clearly, but it is in a very opportune time. We are the fastest growing economy in the world today, and a lot of all companies, multinationals are trying to shift base here, and therefore there are job opportunities that will emerge after you come here. You don't have to stay here. Once you have a stamp of studying in India, you are part of the winning team. So it's better to be.
We have ambassador of American University in our campus. Yeah, yeah. From yesterday, he is so excited. American University is coming. American University is coming. Yeah.
It is part of our, we have two primary goals with having this visit. The first one is really to figure out ways how to incentivize
Yes.
our students to come to India
Right.
to get experience.
We can
You
come there
said
and,
it's difficult right now. Most
Yes.
of our students are going to Europe, and we used to have an Indian study abroad on Buddhism.
Mm.
That's a very tiny program. We
What
want to really
students
create more opportunities, more in the economic centers or political centers that give our students more experience. So the task that now study abroad give to us is to really to start off a good partner that we can host our students. That's our goal. So after seeing this vibrant city and this campus, and it's really very impressive. We are going to report back to our side about our and seriously consider we can send students here. But we would also appreciate that we can get a little more information about how many international students do you have
We'll get,
each country and what kind of services you provide to them.
Yeah.
The type of courses you teach,
Lovely,
whether it's
lovely.
English, what percentage of courses you taught in English.
Everything.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Housing, such and such, yeah.
So I think that I will send you this information. But we have got international hostel here. So it's a world-class hostel, and about 47 countries are sending students. So we have students from across the world who are coming in. In India, we are the university which is able to attract largest number of students, international students.
International students.
Yeah, and internship abroad program is a very strong program here. So because as a part of a curriculum, we send students abroad. And similarly, India Immersion Program and cross-border initiative, which Admiral Bhattacharya is undertaking. It's a very strong initiative where we want that people from across the world, they should come and see what India is all about. So it's on the both sides. But the internship is something which we like to surely this program, which we are saying a semester long program, we like to work on, and immediately we can do it because I think that it's our degree, but basically they are just going and taking exposure. But if you can send us the details, that would be great. And also, when they are doing internships, will they be getting live projects from the industry also, or they will only be in the
Well, depends on the, where they
Stream.
do the internships.
okay?
Yeah, I see likely that the internship is, for example, if you intern with Google, they might give you a project.
Right.
To work with. If you are internship on a Capitol Hill with one of the senator or congressman, they will probably give you a real project on
Topic to work
research,
on.
research
Right.
policy.
Right.
So, those are the real internship experience.
So if you can introduce us with the right director, the person,
Yeah.
and if they can also send us the timelines,
Mhm.
because I'm sure that 1 year well in advance, all this process must be starting.
Actually, in the USB key I'll leave you, you have all the information underneath the Washington
Okay.
semester program.
Right.
And ironically, they have me cover the international partners.
Great.
It's the only program where I specifically am working on the international partnerships. But we would be very delighted to have your students participate in this. But it has all the information. There's even a presentation on that program that we usually use for students inside the flyer for as well. And I even have a little document in
Great.
my bag.
I
I'll give
think
you.
we will keep
Yeah.
this on a priority
It's
list.
a very easy thing.
Yes.
It's an easy thing to do, but I also in the person who coordinates all the twinning, the dual degrees and the joint degrees. And
Right.
so once we identify where we want to start,
Right.
we can then I will convene the faculty
Okay.
and we'll do like a kickoff meeting
Right.
between the faculties and start looking at the different areas.
Right.
We were talking about in our last video conference, why again by proposing the graduates first collaborations is because they're easier. If you're doing something in sustainability management, you said you were doing it already with in Berkeley, it was in California, but if you're doing it with them, it's that faculty that you're working with, and so they are good faster. When you're doing an undergraduate degree, we also have to interact with the core undergraduate education. They're a bit more complicated. So okay, we just signed with AU Rome a 2+2. So the AU Rome is going to be coming over to us as well. So it is possible, but the space is limited. And so if you're looking for volume, there'll be more volume potential at the master's level than at the undergraduate level. That does not mean that we cannot have some undergraduate possibilities. We'd have to look and see which areas. But I think we should identify really the first ones to start with, the priority ones, and then talk about, as you could say, maybe even like a quota topic and saying, okay, we know we need to have a certain amount. Some programs are bigger than others. Some limit their capacity because again, we're small and we're not going to, it's not our objective to overflow the class sizes. We like to keep it very, a quality, but we're looking to do more with less partners. So find a few good partners and do things a lot more with them than having 100 MOUs spread across.
You said it, yeah. I
You
think
know,
very
so
important.
if we do something like big with you, probably not going to do much more because at one point they're going to yell at us and say, that's enough, that's enough. Yes.
Yeah.
But there are some very, I think, clear areas where we could be collaborating. At first, I was looking and saying if you had bachelors in some programs and no masters, but then I noticed your huge offering. I'm like, no, they have it everywhere. They have every single program, so there's no hole. But just to choose which ones would be for you and your students the most interesting. Maybe where your current collaborations aren't covering. Make it the most pertinent, the highest return on investment for time, because it does take time for faculty. But this is what they have us doing right now is coordinating that for. We work for the provosts. And so with the academic units directly. And we negotiate with the administration and finance as well. And so we'll be able to move fast.
Speaking of finance, do we have any scholarship schemes for?
So if we're going to like say a
Masters.
1+1, if we were looking at the 1+1, we can articulate depending on the degree, 12 or 9 credits coming from you. So instead of a 30 credit, we pay by credits at the master's level, the student would only need to be paying 18 credits. And from then we can bring in some scholarships. And so it could be that the student is only paying half in the end what they would have paid if they were not going through this agreement.
Absolutely. I think that
Mm.
discussion will have dean to dean.
Mm.
But that's very important discussion and good that you are coming and we had a very extensive discussion before you came. I think that we had series of meetings. So what I'll do is that we will request each one of them to just briefly introduce them and then areas where you are. But I have got a full list with me, the courses. So we have already shortlisted few.
Mhm.
We'll send you through email. Looking at your presentation, I'll send you my presentation also, and then we will also define some timelines.
Yeah.
Because if this has to happen, we need to look at how quickly we can include them in the admission calendar, right? And then we can look at whether 224 or 2025, how we need to look at, and then a small strategic group from both the sides. You two, besides anyone you want to introduce, and similarly from our side, 4 or 5 people, and then we'll create a matrix which programs, what, how it needs to be launched, and hopefully that by February we should be able to create it. And then we request that if your teams can,
We can move forward quickly.
right?
The undergraduate timeline is already passed for fall 2024.
Okay.
Because by the time we would map it,
Yes.
it would be too late to apply.
Okay.
Okay, but
Right.
at the master's level,
Yes.
their admissions are a little bit later.
Okay.
There still might be some quick wins,
Okay.
potential, but it depends on how fast
Okay.
both sides are in mapping.
Right.
But you know how it is, it's a cyclic thing, so
Yes.
it's
Right.
in terms of,
Right.
it's a one shot type thing, and so depending on what we start to do,
Right.
the Washington semester is actually, if we sign quickly, they can apply for, spring is passed, this 2024 spring is passed, but they
Yes.
could apply to fall.
Fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for masters we will aim fall of 2024, and for PS programs let's look at 2025.
I think it'd be the only, we've passed
Right.
the timing for the BS, yeah.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
So internship abroad is available in biotechnology.
We will be able to find a thing in biotech. We have a lot of biotech in our area.
Right.
It is, especially where we actually live, not too far from each other. There's just, it's all biotech companies. So,
Because
yeah.
I mentioned that a lot of our students are blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just come to everyone.
And that's actually in the applications we've been getting from your students, because I actually went in and we looked at the data, right?
Yes.
We're very data driven.
Yes.
The most of the people applying from Amity are in biotech and
Yes.
computer science.
Yes, absolutely. I would request all of you, if you can just very briefly introduce yourself in the area so that you know that who all are interested, what areas. So we have already made a matrix, but I want that each one of them, they should be able to. Admiral has already introduced himself. Yeah.
Myself, Dr. Yudhendra Singh, I'm heading Institute of Public Policy. So at the Institution of Public Policy, we are operating programs from undergraduate to PhD in research program, public policy in the area of the research. The students are doing research in the area of governance, sustainable development, administration, and this even cyber security and cyber.
Again,
So, welcome to Amity, first of all, and I'm Professor Dr. Seema Bhatnagar. I'm Assistant Director at Amity Institute of Biotechnology, and I take care of all the international collaborations for my institute. So, our institute, we have a huge institute and a lot of research focus, more than 2,000 students, and many of them, more than 50%, want to go abroad for higher studies. So internship abroad is something that I think we will find a lot of interest in the students, because then they can also go for masters once they have done something and they know the university. So that's something I would be really interested to know about. Thank you so much.
Hello, myself, Dr. Amrish Chaube, and I'm a faculty of IT in AIBS. I closely working with Dr. Singh in the 3 continental program and the international exposure in the USA. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Professor Dr. Nagalakshmi here. I'm heading Amity Institute of International Studies, and we are having a international relations program, both UG and PG level, and also master's levels. So that's why I said that we are looking more for. As I saw your curriculum, in that I could see that if we can work more on Africa diaspora and Asia specific diaspora, because that is our course, and we also have international political economy and global security, peace and conflict studies, all these things we do have. So it'll be a really wonderful if we can go ahead with this. But the same thing, if you can make it available for masters also, Because masters I couldn't see, it's only public. So that's what my proposal would be. Like to
In the team
look.
you're leaving with you, there's a file on the School of International Service, there's actually the brochure. I didn't want to bring 20 kilos of papers, but I asked everyone to give me their papers inside the file that you will have, yeah?
Yeah.
So you could, like,
Thank you so much. Looking forward to work more on this.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to METI University platform. Myself, Dr. Renu Dupar. I'm Assistant Director of METI Institute of Environmental Sciences. And we have three programs, BSc in Environmental Sciences, MSc in Environmental Sciences, MSc in Environmental Health Science and Management. And this year, in this session, we started the third program in MSc in the PG, that is the Green Technology and Climate Change, because nowadays there are a lot of work carried out in this area, green technology, climate change, sustainable development. And we have also a PhD program, both full-time and part-time. And currently we have 52 students. And these students are all over the India, from the government sector and from the private sectors. And they are working on climate change, disaster management, pollution, SDG goals, carbon footprints, and all these important current issues in which they are pursuing their PhD program. My only one question is that my students in the MSc program, their dissertation starts from January to May. So is there any possibility that students will collaborate with your organization for the dissertation program?
so how long is it? It's a 2-year program?
Yes, ma'am. MSc is 2-year program. And this
And so
dissertation in their last semester.
So we have a capstone is what it's called. It's the final project that's worth 2 credits. So it's 6 credits, okay? And students have the option of taking a research capstone or more of a practicum capstone. And so depending on the program, we can make sure that they can choose and do this capstone and it be co-supervised. It's very possible. And so we just make sure that some of the programs really like to have their students doing research, a lot of research, they're publishing while they're doing their graduate studies with us. And so the student would be responsible for producing for you the format that they need, but they will have a large project to produce as well on our side. And so we just have to look at and speak with the faculty. The faculty will get together and they'll be able to communicate with the kind of output that they need. Which makes me think about the fact we didn't talk about, but there are possibilities of doing a bachelor-master combinations, like a 4+1 for the students, even more interesting financially for the students. Because we also like to think about making it the more equitable, right? And so, for example, in computer science, if they're coming in, there could be option, the longer they're with the program, the better the project they'll have to work on in research. And so we can look at different types of combinations. But
at 4+1, that many of our cases, we have a 3 years degree.
Yeah.
So they can
you haven't shifted yet to the 4.
We've got 4 years.
So few of them. So, but there are different where we have the 3 years. So few courses, they are 4-year programs, but then there are programs which are 3 years. So can we do 3+1 also?
We'd have to look at the level, because if we're doing the +1, it means recognizing master level teaching at the undergraduate level. And so generally we're able to find that level in the 4th year. It's not always the case with the 3-year programs. And so we'd have to look at the different possibilities.
So those are the discussions.
Yeah.
That we need to details.
The details.
Of the
But yeah.
academics. But we have 4 years program also. But I think that for all, we will shortlist 5 programs, 5 domains. And then we like to have discussions, right? So that we can compete with them. But that is quite possible.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Professor Dr. Ajay Kumar Jain. I'm a medical doctor with PhD in healthcare economics, and I'm looking after MIT Institute of Public Health and Hospital Administration. So we have got 3 programs: Master of Public Health, Master of Hospital Administration, and undergraduate program, BBA in Healthcare Management. So, and apart from that, we have got doctorate program also, PhD part-time and full-time for public health and hospital administration both. And we are looking for actually internship opportunities for our students, especially PG students, MHA and MPH students in healthcare organizations or in hospitals or something related to that. Or maybe international program in which 1 year they can do here and one year they can go abroad, something like that. So I was looking that you have got public policy program, but
excellent
I doubt.
I didn't mention it, but we do have public health as an option. We do not have a medical school, so the medical teaching we don't do, but public health is one of our specialties. And so there's possible. Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Amity. I'm Dr. Shazina Saeed, and I'm from the same department as Dr. Jain. And I'm a University of Pittsburgh alumni. I was trained in public health for around 7 years over there. And while we are talking about exchange of students, I think internships on global health would have a very significant meaning because in the wake of the pandemic, we realized that our students or our leaders of tomorrow need to know and understand the health systems of various economies. So I think both ways, a global health internship would benefit our students as well as yours.
As well as ours.
Yes.
It's amazing. I needed some Tylenol, and I'm like, someone bought me some Tylenol. How much do I owe you? They're like, it was 10 rupees. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? This is impossible.
Yes,
It's
because our health system is very different.
yes,
And
exactly.
we managed COVID really well considering that we are such a big population. So I think our health system has to offer a lot to all the international people out there. So I think that would be a nice place where we can join hands.
And our public health faculty are very much interested in researching, doing more
Yes.
research. They've been doing a little bit in Africa. They have mentioned that they're interested in reaching into India for the research, and so.
And just when you're saying that, at one of the international conferences, someone just mentioned to me that public health is a gold mine in India because there's just so much to do
Mhm.
and a lot of it which is untapped. So, yes.
India is an
Yeah.
continent. I mean, a lot of people don't understand this.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand the diversity that you have.
Yeah, within India, we have 5 centers of origin if you talk genetically. So there is a lot that we can do that way. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Professor Bing and Ms. Tashina. It's a pleasure to see you in person, especially with Group 5 Chancellor, sir. We have taken note of all the important points and all the collaborative initiatives that we want to take together. I think with his guidance, we take it forward. Thank you.
Hello, Professor Wang and hi, Tashina. Good to connect with you again. And my name is Varun. I take care of international partnerships and alliances. And as far as health is concerned, also taking care of the partnership health, evaluating it time to time, so that there is some skin in the game for both the partners, and there's a value addition to each side. Thank you.
So what we will do is that we will create a small memories,
Mhm.
and then write it what we will do immediately, then in the middle term, and then in the long term, right? And we would like to then have a serious academic discussions,
Yeah.
right? That how with the master's level, especially
And
where
our
your interest is.
faculty decides.
Yes.
If our faculty
Yes.
in this program doesn't want to do it, it
Yes.
will not happen.
Yes.
So what we will do once we look at the metrics, the next step will be organizing, the kickoff meeting.
Yes.
The
Right.
dating session
Yes.
between faculties to
Yes.
say this is what we want to do.
Yes.
And after that meeting, we confirm. We
Yes.
like to say this because we have some of our programs are very, very difficult to they refuse to take extra students.
Yes.
Okay, and so they're very rare, but there's like one or two I usually avoid. So if you mention them, I'll be like, how about we try this one first? Yeah. But it is the faculty who make the final decision,
Yes.
and afterwards the finance people we go to see them. But we will make it so it's a seamless process for you.
Right. Right.
I see 3 level collaboration.
Yes.
So the degree collaboration, like dual degree programs,
Right.
those are the one that, as
Hmm.
Tina said, has to involve faculty.
Faculty.
We can take up,
Right.
start a meeting,
Yes.
identify maybe 1 to few major to start with, and
Yes.
and start to talk about articulation.
Right.
So the second level of collaboration would be talk about those internships or basically that your students come to us in a short term, as you did with the Berkeley and others. Your students are interested in going to
That's
DC
easy.
and being exposed to public policy,
Yes.
politics, etc. That part is easy.
Yes.
We
Because
can do
us.
immediately.
Right.
We can
Yes.
make it easy.
It's very easy.
We can pursue right
Yeah.
away.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
third is that find opportunity for our students to come to you.
Yes.
So we would appreciate, additional information about, your support for international students, that type of programs, etc. And for example, this immersion
Yes.
program to learn in India,
Mm.
we love to have more information. Then
That's also us.
it's us. We will be responsible to promote our students.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
those three levels, I see is very easy to do. On your student to us, and then we go to you. And on the larger level, there's the campus idea, the EU campus idea in India. That is really exciting. To be honest, at the beginning, so you know, we are a little bit how can I say,
skeptic
Yes.
about really opening up a campus overseas because that will involve a lot of planning and involve a lot of risk. So I just don't know. And our executive leadership has the appetite to do so.
Right.
But having seen that you have been so spread out, globally,
Yes.
and by partnering with you, may eliminate a lot of potential risk.
Right.
For but versus other institutions. So I will bring back the idea to our senior leadership and see. But that's, of course, it will be the midterm to long-term goal.
Yes.
We can start with the short-term degree program collaboration and student mobility.
Yes.
Let's start dating before we get married.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yes. So I think that we have noted down the points and we'll get back to you. But once again, thank you so much for coming and taking time. We've got some little mementos for you so that you can take those ones.
Yeah.
And if you get time, please look at the campus. We have arranged the campus tour.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's do it in the center so that they can have.
Yeah.
It's not looking.
Please go. Let's go.
Your school will be very good collaboration in our school.
Yeah. And it is work by him and his twin brother on curiosity, the scientific. It's exactly, a philosopher and a scientist that go through this version of what is curiosity. And so, yeah, for librarian, also recommended the book, and so I have, of course, I have to read it first. Okay. But we thought that what we could bring to you that is a bit different. And again, I was looking at the different things that we have for a university, and I kept saying made in China, made in China. One was made in India. I'm like, okay, I cannot give something that's made in India.
Next year onwards, you will say made in India.
Exactly. And then we had a few here. We had a few more. Inside we'll have the USB key with all the information. And some documents, but we also have a number of chocolates. I didn't know how many people would be here today. I underestimated how many people would be at the meeting. But we have some little Capitol building chocolates for being here, and he will get to choose who gets the chocolate. So,
So it'd be nice to.
yeah. So there you go. And you can give maybe one of the ladies a shopping. So, yeah. But everything's in the USB key. All the documents have come. It's a very heavy USB. Oh, thank you so much for this. It's wonderful. Effort, this wonderful welcome. Really.
Thank you.
I knew this would be a good visit when we were both trying to get in touch with each other at the same time.
Yes, yes.
ये उनको दे दो
Come to India.